One guy came. He's like, my wife wants me. He's like, sorry, your wife wants me to cut it this way. I was
Okay.
like, it's not gonna look good. I swear to God, he looked like a pineapple. Because he's had.
Before we get started with our episode, we're going to hear from our sponsor. Shopify makes it easy to manage your growing business. They help with all the details like shipping, taxes, payments, all from one single dashboard. Their powerful social media tools help you connect all of your channels so that you can make shoppable posts everywhere that people scroll. With Shopify, your first sale is much closer than you think. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Rebecca. All lowercase letters. Go to shopify.com/Rebecca to start selling with Shopify today. Now let's get started with this week's episode.
I'm from Kosovo, former Yugoslavia, Albanian. Kosovo is like 95% Albanians, and in 90s Yugoslavia. There's no more Yugoslavia. A lot of people probably don't know. There's no more Yugoslavia.
You'd
Fell
be
apart.
surprised. Public education in my state is so bad that like a lot of our globes in elementary school still say Yugoslavia, Czechoslovakia, USSR.
Not
So
updated.
they know.
Not updated yet.
they know what it is. They might not understand, but they know it existed.
Yeah, so the war happens, multiple wars in Yugoslavia. Then I came as a refugee in U.S., but I spent 3 months in a refugee camp, and that's when I turned my 17th birthday in a refugee camp.
Oh wow!
So then people pick different countries in the area, Europe, and then we picked U.S. Only U.S. would take. Me and my two other brothers. We were all grown up. So the other European nations, they were taking more kids and older people. So only I think U.S., Canada, and Australia, they didn't pick whoever put the name they were taking. So that's why I came here.
Wow. So what was your first move when you got to America? Like how did you start going about adulthood in America?
It was definitely you mature way faster.
Yeah.
Because I came here. One brother went to Canada. My brother was here, but he went back home. He didn't like it.
Really?
I stayed. He couldn't adapt to the new lifestyle, new language, new everything.
What about what was so difficult for him to adapt to?
Well, I think he was like a little older, so when you're younger, you adapt easier.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like he's 10 years older than me. So then he went back. And then I stayed and just no family and just relied on friends and stuff like that.
Wow. Okay.
They sent us in North Dakota.
Wow.
It
Okay,
was
middle of nowhere. Okay, yeah.
And it was interesting. In North Dakota was like quiet, very quiet, because I come from capital of my country. So it's like Pristina. It's like and when I come to North Dakota, Fargo, North Dakota, it's like quiet, like from the airplane, all I can see is like farming land. I was like, where are we going? And I was talking to my brother. I was like, they're taking us to a farmland. It's like, we're going to be in a farm. And then they took us to Fargo, North Dakota. This church sponsored us. And so we don't have a say where we go. So pretty much they spread all over U.S.
Uh-huh.
So maybe it won't be in one spot, all the refugees, same kind of,
Wow.
Yeah.
And then so you ended up becoming a barber and opening up your own shop.
That was later.
Well, so
that was way back later. Kind of, I didn't do that right away.
Well, how did you decide like this is the journey for me?
Well, the thing is, I didn't stay in school in the beginning.
It's not for everybody.
Yeah, kids are in school. But if me,
yeah, close your ears. His daughters are listening.
Yeah, right. In the beginning, it was like tough, new language, new everything, and new to adapt, new culture, everything. So for me, it was like took me, and I thought working is better, but that was a mistake. But it worked out later, I guess, and I did different jobs. I always supported you and helped my family back home.
Wow.
Because it was a new country, post-war and stuff. So I was work. So that's why I didn't stay kind of in school. I thought if I work, I can help my family, and I started working right away. And later, then moved to Connecticut, 2013.
Hmm.
That's when I worked same thing, warehouse stuff like that. And I realized I always wanted to work for myself. I tried few different things, trying to open a business, something like a cleaning business one time. I tried, didn't take off, and then I went to school to be a barber.
So I have so many questions.
Yeah.
First of all, what's the difference between a barber and like a hairstylist, or is there not a difference?
Well, now it used to be one school. It used to be 1,500 hours in Connecticut.
Mhm.
Every state has different school, different
Right.
requirements. And here it's like now they changed it. It was like maybe like 10 years ago.
Mhm.
For to be a barber, is 1,000 hours is less.
Okay.
So because you don't have to color, you don't have to use chemicals and stuff like that.
Okay.
But then you have to focus. Like stylists, they shouldn't be using razors. Barbers, they use razors like to shave and stuff.
Okay.
So it's
Okay.
like we focus in the school. They focus more on sanitation,
Okay.
how to be clean and this and that. And the hairstylist is more like coloring and stuff, more questions.
Okay.
So then it's like two different things. But yeah, it's just less hours, but you focus different things, like more sanitation. More,
Yeah. Okay. So did you go into it knowing that you wanted to open up your own shop?
Well, yeah, it was from the beginning. I just wanted to have something to be my own kind of boss, kind of. But
Yeah.
the thing is, even I was watching something. It's like a lot of people think that when you open a business, you just get 9 to 5, as you know yourself. You just
Right.
ended up when you work for yourself. You just ended up working way more hours.
Yeah. Then you realize, yeah, I get that.
Even my wife sometimes you'd be like, you're always on the phone, always.
Yeah, because the business
like
doesn't
constantly-
run itself.
Right? It's like always editing something, posting something,
Doing some paperwork.
right? All together.
So what did it look like actually going through the steps of opening up your own shop? Like not just becoming a barber and getting your license, but like really opening up your own, because most people who work in like cosmetology just kind of rent a booth or a chair. So like what did it look like to actually open up your own store?
I worked 2.5 years for somebody else, and then 2 years. You can't open a barber shop
Mhm.
without doing 2 years of experience.
Like an apprenticeship kind of thing.
Yeah, it was like when you finish your school, you gotta wait, at least in Connecticut, you gotta wait 2 years before you can open the shop.
Okay.
So I waited 2.5 years. Then I was looking different areas. But it's like I figure out all myself. Well, I know a lot of people say you go to somebody to help you. Somebody said go first of all when you find a spot, you go ask for zoning. If you're allowed, first one thing is like if you're allowed to. First, obviously, you find a place, you talk to us, and then they tell you, yeah, like the landlords, and then you talk to before you sign anything, you talk to the zoning if you're not allowed to have an area, and that's what I did. And then the requirements, and they kind of make you run around a little bit at the
Oh, I'm sure.
at the town hall or whatever. And but I did. One guy told me actually, it's like, whatever, don't question anything. Wherever they tell you, do it, because because they told me it's like, oh, you need a blueprint. And then
For the building?
yeah, inside how's it gonna be a setup?
Oh, so you have to
I was
decide
like,
that before.
It's a barbershop. It's like, oh, I was like, can I draw it? It's like, I'm gonna show you how it's gonna look. They're like, no, it's gotta be a professional architect.
Oh.
And I was like, looking
Oh
at-
my God.
Then they said, oh, we're gonna bring you a blueprint. I'm gonna show you how it's actually gonna look. And then I was like, okay. And they went, and they couldn't find kind of one. I don't want to say nothing, I guess, but I shouldn't say nothing about that. But it's like they didn't bring me one to kind of base it on, but they found one. But then I had to hire an architect, set up my setup, all this stuff.
That sounds so expensive.
Right, right.
Oh
That's
my
right.
gosh.
It's like blueprint. But one guy told him, it's like, don't question anything. Don't be like, hey, why do I need this? Why need that? You just gotta do it because they can make you even put the
They can make your life more difficult than it needs to
even
be.
the sprinklers. They can be like, oh, your shop should have sprinkles.
Oh
But-
my god.
They didn't do that. But I'm just saying they said they can go if you don't follow everything. But I think in US, like US is like gives you a lot of opportunities, like a country of opportunities, and then it's like it's way easier to open a business here because I talk to people from Europe and stuff. And it's like some countries require a lot of requirements, a lot of takes a while. But I was up and running, and like by the time it was like a few months.
Really?
Yeah.
It was
With
that
everything,
quick.
Everything.
I guess like when you look at all the list of things, the blueprint and the zoning, like it looks like a lot and it is really expensive. But that's really interesting to know that it's still so much significantly easier to do it
it's
here.
easier because it's easier and less the regulations
Yeah.
than some European countries, at least what I heard.
Interesting.
But, it was like was easy, and this coming from I had nothing to do, like I knew nothing about this.
Yeah.
Nothing to open a business, to open an LLC. I went to the Secretary of State, right, like online, and then you just find everything you need online.
Mhm.
Because a lot of places people pay a lot of money probably to the lawyers or something, fees and stuff to put together. They have this legal fees and stuff, whatever. Well, I just did it myself. Like, I
That's
just looked
awesome.
around.
So how long have you done that now?
It's gonna be my shot almost 6 years.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's so cool. So what is the biggest thing you've learned like through the entire process?
Biggest thing I learned
Uh-huh.
is like because it was tough when I opened in 2018. It was not even a year. Yeah, we were shut down for COVID.
Yeah.
So 3 months. It was tough. A lot of business couldn't survive.
Mhm.
But me being by myself in US, now I'm my own family, but being by myself always told me to look out forward, kind of put money away or something like so you don't because I don't have any family here, only mine now, but I didn't have any
At
family.
the time, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like always look. It's that you gotta look forward. It's like you gotta be responsible because a lot of people something like that happened, COVID unsuspected, and people weren't ready,
Yeah.
and they weren't ready to shut down 3 months.
Yeah.
And good thing I kind of did that right
Adapted.
and then adapted, and sometimes even you gotta be. I tell people it's like you gotta be selfish in a way that in a selfish for your business because it's like I don't know how to put it. It's like the clients. Some of the clients like the clients are like kind of they the ones I didn't even thought about it. They can look out for me. They call me and they even send me money. Some of the clients they're like
When the business was shut down?
yeah, but I didn't. I suspected more for some people. They did more. I found that people that I didn't suspected for them to look out for me all the tough
Didn't.
times. They called me. They're like, "Oh, I'm gonna just send you, Venmo you, or some of the money. I was gonna get the haircut. I was gonna pay you for this haircut anyways. So I'm just gonna send you. Some send me a check. Some send me.
That's so
So they
sweet.
look out for me. So when I say selfish, I think you should be looking out for people that are there for you. So you be looking
Like loyal.
loyal.
Yeah.
Because some people maybe you did a lot of favors, a lot of stuff, and the tough times comes.
And they're
Yeah,
there.
they're like, and you be like, well, those are my friends. But maybe those friends, you gotta be selfish a little bit. Be like, oh, these guys have been there for me. You gotta look out.
Yeah.
So you gotta look out more for you, selfish for your business.
Yeah.
What's important? What's not for? What's your friendship or this and that? Like,
Yeah. So I worked in the service industry for like 7 years
Right.
when I like throughout high school and college.
nice.
And I worked for this sports bar that kind of franchised into like multiple different locations. They did super well. And I used to babysit for one of the owners, and
Yeah.
so I would kind of flip-flop between a lot of the locations. And one of the managers, I guess he was a partial owner of one location.
Yeah.
He was not selfish when it came to his business. Like, he wouldn't stop giving customers free food.
Yeah. See.
Like,
see,
all the time.
That's number one thing, because even people who become barbers, they're like, oh, he's my friend. I'm gonna give him a free haircut, or give him cheaper haircuts because he's been there for me.
You gotta make
so
money.
It's like a lot of people fail even on this field or many fields because you're just looking out your friends because, oh, my friend, well, this, that.
Exactly.
But good client kind of respects your time.
Yes.
Respects
Yes.
your,
Absolutely.
so that's why you got to be a little selfish for your business. Kind of look out what's
That's what
what's helping you, what's bringing you up. Even on prices. When you go up on prices, a lot of people, when they understand the business, how it goes, they're like, oh, great. It's like they don't question.
Those are good customers.
Right? They don't question. It's like, I understand. It's like even special now. Inflation, all this stuff going on.
Everything
It's
gets
like,
more expensive.
And then, but some clients, they're like, they've been there with me for a while. They're like, oh, you're going up again? What's going on? Oh, they keep questioning it. It's like, this is like, everything is more now. It's like rent.
Yeah.
It's like they expect the same.
We're going to take a quick break and hear from our sponsor. It's 2025, and a new year means new opportunities. For a lot of y'all out there, I know you've been thinking about one thing over the holidays, and that's starting your own business. But you probably also have a lot of questions. How do I get started? How do I come up with a brand? How do I sell stuff to people? And what am I even going to sell? Take a deep breath, because Shopify's got you. Shopify makes it easy to manage your growing business. They help with all the details like shipping, taxes, payments, all from one single dashboard, which allows you to actually focus on the important stuff like starting and growing the business. Their powerful social media tools help you connect all of your channels so that you can make shoppable posts everywhere that people scroll. With Shopify, your first sale is much closer than you think. Established in 2025. Has a nice ring to it, doesn't it? Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Rebecca. All lowercase letters. Go to shopify.com/Rebecca to start selling with Shopify today. Now, back to the episode.
But one thing that in the barber industry or whatever, like hair industry, it's like before, especially barbers, used to be more or less complicated haircuts. Used to be one number on the side, little scissor work, quick. So they focus more on quantity, not quality. And now they look on TikTok. They have now it's like a taper fades. Everybody wants those taper fades and those fancy haircuts. Takes time and precision. Like you're gonna be perfect because they come with a video. It's like, can you do this? And then the teenagers it's like, and I always changing now. It's like changing more than ever with the social media.
Yeah.
It's great, but you gotta be willing to adapt.
Mm-hmm.
But same time, people don't want to pay a lot. They want to pay low prices, but it's like the time takes more time.
Yeah, they don't understand that.
Right.
They don't understand. My dad used to always have this saying that what was it? I think it was like a cruise ship kind of thing. I don't even know if this is a real story. It might just be like a metaphor or a saying or something. But like this giant ship like broke down, right? They needed to call someone to come fix it.
Yeah.
And they called the guy. It took him like an hour to get there. He literally walked over like to tap 2 pipes and it was working. And they're like, I'm paying you to tap 2 pipes. And he's like, no, you're paying me for the time that it took for me to figure out where to tap. Right. That's how it works.
Right. That's so true. And one of the things is like I said, for the pricing is like now it's like everybody want quality haircuts. Older people, they don't mind, but
Young
younger,
people, yeah.
and you want to do these haircuts, and I know it takes time, but that's what helps me with the social media and all that stuff, you know, like because that's what's trendy.
Yeah. And like I feel like when you also post on social media, especially in your line of work, people see the time, energy, and effort that goes into what you do.
Yeah.
And it kind of makes them hopefully it makes them appreciate it, like,
Oh, yeah.
I need a bit more. And they're like, oh, that's very like meticulous and
Oh yeah. But that's another thing is like some barbers coming up or something like they want success right away, and I started doing social media way back.
Yeah.
And then it's like it takes time,
Mhm.
but they think they started doing it, and it doesn't take off like compared to others, and then all of a sudden, it's like you gotta put in work. It's like nobody sees what you did in a way back. It's like they think now even some clients is like, well, you do these videos. I was like, oh, you got this many views, this many followers, this many this, and they're like, do you get any money? Do you get paid? Do you get money? It's like obviously it comes with the hard work, but it's like everybody wants they in for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I did it as a passion. It's like I had a passion to make content, and showing same thing. It's like run an ad for my work.
Yeah.
So it's like helped me bring people in, and people travel like 2-3 hours sometimes. Come all the way from Springfield. They come.
I feel like that's something a lot of people don't understand about social media is that people can smell your authenticity on the camera.
You gotta enjoy it.
Exactly.
They gotta if you don't
exactly
you're not passionate for it, people see it.
And I feel like the most like all the people that I meet who do really well, like the success came from I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. Like most of the people that I know that do really well on social media didn't get into social media with this idea of I'm gonna go viral and this is gonna be my job. Like we're just kind of having fun, doing something silly on the side.
Enjoy doing this like a hobby, and then later maybe something comes out of it. I made it one.
Right.
It's like I'm doing even this. It's like this.
Right. Like even
big.
when I'm going through something.
Yeah.
My content doesn't do as well because you don't have that sparkle in your eye.
Like this year, like having a newborn and having a kid.
Yeah. Divorce. Busy. I get it. Yeah, I get it.
Being busy at home and stuff. And I seen myself I didn't make, and then it's like a weird algorithm. As soon as you don't do that many videos, it's like you start going down.
Yeah, it's like this is disheartening. Like, I don't love that.
Yeah,
but
it's like constantly you gotta keep going.
Yeah,
but it's like sometimes it's good to take a step back.
Oh, absolutely.
And just come with a new idea. So I think
absolutely, I 100% agree. So what are some things that you think are other misconceptions that people might have about like barbers or people who cut hair or even just owning a small business? Like what are things that people just don't understand?
They think it's like many people ask me like clients before, more not now. They ask me it's like this is the only thing you do. It's like
what do you mean by that?
It's like, this is only a job you have. It's like they look at it. It's like you can't make a living. It's kind of puts you down, kind of.
Yeah,
and I don't like that.
Yeah,
it's
like passive aggressive.
It's like you're a barber. They look down on the barbers before.
Really?
I think in some countries, especially, it's like a barber's like, oh, you didn't make it anywhere.
That's so weird.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like they asked me that. I heard even. Ask other barbers in barbershops, same thing. It's like because you can't make it. Well, you can make it, you can do just fine. It's like you can do well. It depends, like I said, it's like depends if you're thinking of your business first and not looking at it as a hobby. Because a lot of people is like, oh, it's like they think it's like I heard it so many times, like I make my own hours. A lot of barbers. It's like I make my own hours. It's like what does that mean? It's like What do you mean? Say,
Are you
what
available
class?
when people
Oh,
are open? Like, what is
yeah,
that?
just show up. It's like, and they think they just do a couple hours in the morning, take long lunch, show up a couple hours. It's like, well, that's not gonna get you far.
Yeah.
And then if you're not there all the time, even the slow days, I used to sit, just wait in the beginning. I don't have slow days now. It's like it's all. I
That's
get booked like
amazing.
2-3 weeks out, sometimes 4 weeks.
That's
I
amazing.
always let my schedule open only 30 days out because sometimes I have plans too. And then if they make an appointment, then I gotta cancel. And some people would get mad. I
Oh,
lost
sure.
clients like that, just like
Really?
because week ahead I told like clients it's like I'm gonna take this day off. Something came up. They're like, oh, listen, the second time you cancel this year for something like this.
Oh, you
Things
canceled
happen.
once a year?
It was like
Oh,
couple
the
times.
horror.
2 clients like that. They brought it up. I was like, then I was like, I can't leave my schedule too far open because then if you cancel on them, they get.
Yeah.
And sometimes they can't get in. I tried to get in. Anybody I cancel, I try to make up. I come early. I work 9 to 6.
They were really mad that like a couple times a year you decided to have a life.
Happens. But see, the thing is,
Wow.
in the beginning, when you start this, it's like a lot of people are like more. It's like they see that like you were nervous cutting hair. They take advantage of you, and then you gotta put up with a lot of stuff until you build that. It's like
I hate
they'd be
that.
like, oh, when they see you nervous, they're like, oh, I think you messed up here, messed up here. And it's like, yeah, it's like a little. In the beginning, I was like, damn. I was like, in the beginning, I was thinking, it's like, is this really for me?
That's people are the worst sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Especially like I said, because barbering, they just kind of. I don't know. It's like they look down, kind of, and. But thanks to social media, I see more and more younger people want to be barbers, want to do barbering because everybody asks me, like, what clippers you use, what this you use, what trimmers, or what brand, and it's like, and they are like in high school or college.
Oh.
But it's like they still going to school, but just want to learn because you see some popular like celebrity barbers, It's like So this is social media is changing hairstyles, it's changing everything. So it's great.
That's so sweet. Can you think of any like specific client interactions you've had that have just made you thought like, oh my gosh, I don't get paid enough for this?
I say all the time, just when you've seen everything, something proves you.
Okay. Do you have any
It's like,
examples?
see, it's like I can't remember quite all of it. Like
I have a few stories from people if you want me to go first, so while you think about
go
it.
ahead.
Okay. So I had a barber sent me a story about how they had a client. She had a full head of braids, and she had most of her braids wrapped up in a knot on top of her head, right? And she came in, she sat in the chair, and she said, "I want you to shave off everything except for my top bun, like my top knot. I think it'll look so cute." And the barber was like, "Girl, that's not gonna look good."
Mm-hmm.
She's like, no. I'm envisioning it in my head.
Yeah.
I think it'll be really cute. And he asked her 2 more times. You're positive this is what you want? Yes. Okay. All right. The moment he started cutting, he saw her face change. And he saw the regret. But she didn't say anything.
So you bring in my one came. He said.
So what ended up happening was, she's like, "Hey, I'll keep going until you tell me to stop." And she didn't say anything. At the end, she went, she paid, she tipped, and she sprinted out.
What?
Within 2 hours, the manager got a call. And apparently she called and she's like, "I hate my haircut." And they're like, "Well, did they tell you they thought this was a bad idea?" "Yes." "Okay. Did you ask them to stop?" "No." "Okay. Did you pay?" "Yes." "Did you tip?" "Yes." "Okay. So do you want us to take away your tip and refund you that?" "Well, no, because I didn't say stop, so I don't want him to not get paid, so I want him to keep the tip." "Okay, do you want us to refund the hairstyle?"
Right.
"Well, he's not going to get that money." "Okay, so what do you want? You don't want us to refund the tip. You don't want us to refund the hairstyle. What do you want? I don't know. I just hate my hair.
Right?
Okay. I don't Sorry,
So-
go ahead.
One guy came. He's like, my wife wants me. He's like, started. My wife wants me to cut it this way. She
Okay.
said, leave the top and go like part it here
Mhm.
and go all the way one number, no fade, nothing, 0.
Oh,
And I was like, and he had like a more like a spiky hair. I was
okay.
like, it's not gonna look good. And then he's like, no, just do it. And then I started. It was simple haircut. It was easy.
Yeah.
No fade, nothing. It's like all the way. And then he looked. It was like he realized. He's like, see, I swear to God, he looked like a pineapple. Because his head shape was a little bent here. It was so then here, so it looked like more like a pineapple.
Oh no.
Then there was another kid. Always kids when they come like younger. When they come, it's like my first time in barbershop. They
Mhm.
always make me nervous
Mhm.
because we do more details, like more like we use razors. So usually a lot of parents, like moms, they take the kids to the salons
Mhm.
with them, you know. So then he came. He's like he had like
How old was he?
he was like maybe like a 10,
Okay.
11.
Okay.
And he had all the hair here, very long, very short here, very short. So I was like, to make it right, it's not proportion for me. And I was like, it doesn't look proportion. Well, it's like, we gotta trim this and we let this grow so it looks proportion. And I checked with him. He's like, yeah, okay, do it. I lived with mom. Mom was there. She's like, yeah, everything was good. Cut his hair. He went home. He left me a review. Don't go here. He cuts hair too short.
What?
It's still, I think it's my profile on my Google. That was like,
He cuts hair too short.
that's it.
What?
He cuts hair too short. And I checked with him, checked with mom. It was like-
This is. I can't. Oh my god.
But every time somebody comes from salon, they always make me nervous. And I always try not to do extra or anything. Keep it whatever they say. But at the same time, when sometimes clients, when they come, they try to tell me, walk me through the haircut. Here short, here long. It's like kept interrupting. They keep interrupting, and they just wanted to look the way they want it. They think they want it. Those come out the worst for me because they don't understand what they're talking about.
No, they don't.
So it's like for me, it's like those come up the worst. I just follow whatever they say, but then I was like, oh, well, even that guy with the pineapple guy.
The pineapple guy. I love
I told him,
that.
I was like, don't. I was like, you told me to do this. I was like, don't tell anybody where you got the haircut. I was like, I don't wanna.
Did he have you fix it?
No, he didn't come. I don't know. Maybe he came
come
later. I
back.
forgot what happened, but it's probably he waited a while to get a haircut.
That guy gave me the worst haircut ever.
Yeah, I just did whatever he said. I didn't.
Oh my
I
god.
even told him. I was like trying to stop him, but
Crazy. What are some other things that clients or customers might do that just like really make your life that much more difficult?
Biggest thing is that. Well, I was gonna ask you. It's like, what do you think about a tip?
For cutting hair?
In general, what do you think? And now they going a little crazy. You get a Starbucks has the thing.
No.
They got tip everywhere now. I was like, after COVID, I think they
Yeah.
expect everywhere kind of handy. It's like tip.
I've talked
And
about
if you see
tipping
this
culture with a
content
lot.
people making,
Mhm.
if you just open the door, they have a sign for the tip. It's like, tip me, I open the door for you, and stuff like that.
I think tipping culture, I've talked about this in a lot of episodes. I think that tipping culture in general has gotten a little out of hand in general.
Right?
But I've always operated under the impression that like if a service is being done for you,
So you did service. I think
Yes.
somebody that worked for service,
Yes.
stuff like that. It's like in a restaurant.
yes.
It's like they understand better. That's what my second job. I lived in Vegas, so it was in Vegas. I was a busboy, and my second job in US was like a tip. I understood tip because in Europe, tip is getting. You see it more, but a lot of countries tip is not required. Like
Yes.
they don't push the tip.
It's not the same. I would love to hear your Well, I have a question that goes into it too, because I know that when it comes to the service industry, a lot of people, I think, when it comes to tipping, get frustrated because they don't understand what they're tipping for. So, like in the service industry, people typically have the understanding, not always, but they have the understanding that servers make like 2.15 an hour, and most of that goes towards taxes. Like when I was a server, um, my paycheck literally used to come back as like 75 cents every month because everything that I made hourly went to taxes. So tipping is literally the only way that servers make money. So when it comes to like barbers, I know a lot of the I can't even think of the words I'm thinking for right now. A lot of the payment that people pay for a haircut with goes towards the products that are used and
Yeah.
the equipment, correct?
Yeah, yeah. The product we use, obviously, we gotta pay for that, and other things is like I don't know. The tip is like because we do blow dry and styling
Yes.
in the end.
Hmm.
A lot of barbers maybe they don't do as much maybe, but we try to do more and stuff like that. It's like and that shows kind of appreciated. It's like you really like the haircut. It's like and when they look out for me, like I said in the end, is like even sometimes they have to get in. There's no spots open.
Hmm.
I stay late and I do favors back. And so many times, even the clients, they go through some struggles in life. And I heard people like, "Oh, I lost my job,"
Ah.
or something like that, and then find out stuff like that. Some clients, their house got burned, so then they used to come. It's like a father and the kids. I told them I gave them free haircuts.
Oh.
So that people sometimes I heard lost a job, I give them free haircuts. When I hear stuff, when they tell me a story, I'll be like, it's on me. One had he was like his wife died from cancer, and
Oh.
he's older, and he's been there for me from beginning. And I was like, then he's like, oh, the struggling. I was like, stressing out, this and that. I know he's doing well, like financially, but I was like, it's like, I just, I was like, it's this is on me, you know. It was like, I'm just gonna didn't know what to do. It was like, I was like, I
Absolutely.
can give you a free haircut, you know. I was like,
Yeah, it's
and
all
he's
it's all
like,
you can do right now.
then he just came recently. He's like, you know, I really appreciate. He doesn't come often. He's an older guy. He's 70-something years old. He's like, really appreciate that. It's like you're a very genuine guy, and it's like, well, it's like from bottom of my heart. It's like that. It's like that's what I love doing, and tipping is like I said, it's like sometimes it's like
An
really
appreciation.
appreciate it, like hard work, and sometimes same as like in like waitress and stuff, the price we don't go. If it was no tip, probably would have paid more for haircuts.
Yeah.
We would go a little higher to keep up with the expenses. And
Yeah,
everything.
exactly.
So the tip is like makes, but sometimes the tip kind of, and people kind of don't mind, and you find out sometimes the wealthy clients because you do pretty well financially. They don't tip as much as the one they don't have much, but they appreciate the haircut.
Wow.
It's like a kind of mixed.
That's so
Like
weird.
I noticed that and very picky clients, they don't tip. Or barely.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Very very picky. For them, is like I think some clients like this, like for them, you're never good enough for them.
Well, it's like it's a privilege for you to cut their hair. Don't you
Yeah,
know?
that too.
Don't
It's like
you
nonsense.
know? You're so privileged to be in their presence.
Yeah, not tip, and then some they believe the owner shouldn't get tip.
Really?
For some reason, I heard it movie. It's like owners, you don't tip the owner, you tip because they don't have to pay the commission or the rental, the share rental and stuff.
But you
Well,
pay
the
the
other
mortgage
workers-
of the.
Yeah, but
Yeah, right.
they
Like,
don't know
what?
that my bills exceed that. They exceed the percentage or
That's
And-
so
because
weird.
I gotta have a place for the other workers to work there too. It's like I gotta pay the bills. I gotta make everything happen.
So, do you have a bunch of people that rent chairs in your shop?
I have 3 people,
Okay.
3 guys. We've been together for a while. They work there. We get along. Doesn't feel like It's like I love doing this. It's like when I said it's like something sitting behind desk or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it was never for me. Kind of I had to be kind of doing stuff
Mm-hmm.
like more. So this kind of it just feels like you hanging out with some buddies, like just talking, and
I
then
love that.
it just day flies by, and it's like when I heard people, you gotta love what you do.
Yeah.
It's like that
Yeah.
you don't work a day
In your life.
in your life. I didn't get that until you. I guess a lot of people don't get it until you actually there.
Yeah.
And I see now it's like that's how it is. It's like week starts, weekends. It's like so fast. It just flies.
I love that. I think it's so important for people to love what they do, whether it's being a doctor, whether it's
Oh, yeah.
being a hairstylist, whether it's being a nurse or a teacher, like just waking up and enjoying what you're going to do during the day.
Plus the clients see it's like somebody's
Oh,
passionate
yeah.
what they do. And
Versus someone
you
that
see
doesn't like
some
doesn't want to
jobs-
be there.
Some jobs is you see like
Like,
this
why-
is miserable doing
Yeah.
that or
Why would you ever walk into a salon, see someone who clearly doesn't want to be there, and be like, you know what, I want them to do my hair?
Yeah, right?
Like
It's like, you can
that's
see it.
my guy.
It's like body language.
That
You
makes
can
no
see it right
sense.
away. Yeah, that one was like not tipping the owner. One time was like the I cut this lady's kid, the teenager, and then he was waiting there. It's like, oh, paying me. It's like, and then he's like, should I tip you? Should I tip him? Should I tip him? It's like they were standing there. They making it awkward. It's like, well, he's the owner. The owner don't get tip. It's like the teenager. Like, come on, mom. It's like you gonna do it or don't. Come on. I was like, I was
please,
there.
Dear
It's
God.
like, I didn't want to be like, hey, just give it to me. Bring it here. Tip me.
Well,
It's
somebody,
like I didn't want to make it awkward. His like teammate is so awkward. But that's the thing. It's like you don't tip the owner, and I don't know. It's like you got the
please do though.
bills.
Please
You
do.
got
We
the
still have things to pay for.
oh yeah.
Well, somebody sent me a story. This one made me giggle so much because, like, as someone who used to teach high schoolers,
Yeah.
this really, like, yeah. So, this barber had a pretty busy shop, and had a teenager come in and just said, "Hey, I'm here for a haircut." And they're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, no problem. The wait's gonna be a little lengthy, but I'll try to get you in sometime within the next 30, 45 minutes." And they're like, "No, I have an appointment." They're like, "Oh, okay, well, then let me get your name." Gave him the name, and she looked, and he was not on the list. And she's like, "I'm sorry, I don't have you here. I don't know what to tell you." And he's like, "Well, this is ridiculous. What kind of place is this? You know, I made this appointment last
Right.
week." Starts ranting and raving, this teenage kid. And he's like, "It was Stacy. Stacy's supposed to be cutting my hair." She looks at him, and she goes, "We don't have a Stacy that works here." And he goes,
Trying to get
"Well, what are you talking about? Literally, this is the confirmation that I got." Showed a confirmation text for a completely different shop.
right. It happened
Not-
to us.
Not even like in the same franchise.
Mhm.
Like, it's not like it was a Great Clips or a Sports Clips or anything like that. Just completely different, like, mom and pop shop. And he's like, she told him, "This isn't for us. They're like a couple miles down the road." He goes, "There's more than one barber shop?" Yeah, what? Yeah, there's like a lot of them. What? Apparently, he literally just Googled barbershop and picked the closest
They
one to
thought
make
they
an
were all the same.
appointment. Thought they were all the same. It's all one place. How many can there be? What?
Yeah, it used to be in some streets. There's like 40 of them in Hartford,
There's so many.
right? It's like but same thing happened to us like a few times like that. It's like when like you're running late, it's like, oh, I just went to some other Sam's barbershop, so it could be a different Sam's barbershop.
Oh
or similar.
no.
And then or make
It's a little more understandable.
I ordered one time pizza like that because it was the pizza place, same name, everything. Where I live, as soon as I picked it, it would pop up the first. When I ended up being a different town,
Oh no.
I didn't think much. I put the name. I guess there's another one. So
Oh
then,
no.
then I went there to pick up the pizza. They're like, "Oh, we don't have the order." It's like, "Oh." And then I
What did you
realized I was
do?
like, I ordered it somewhere else.
That's so
Same
funny.
name. I wasn't looking. But yeah, it's like everything online now. It's easy. Before I used to do phone calls. And then sometimes they would be like that. No, you told me at 10 o'clock. No, 10:30 was like the appointment was 10. So they would kind of tell you, no, this is what happened. This is what happened. It's like, and then now it's online. Even now they still mess up. It's like, oh, when you call them, it's like they're late. It's like, oh, I thought it was at 10:30. It was like a half an hour or like an hour later.
It's always, I don't know why. I don't know why it always ends up like this. And I know this from my days as a server, a hostess, a bartender.
Yeah.
It's always the people who are so adamant that you messed up that are always the ones that are
It's
wrong.
not that they don't want to admit it.
They would never be wrong in their whole lives. What do
Yeah.
you mean? They're
Right.
perfect human beings who have
They
never said
happen,
anything wrong.
There's people sometimes make an appointment for the wrong date. They don't.
Oh,
They'd
yeah.
be like, oh, it's Friday. I need a haircut. It's like it's Friday after a week. So they don't. I know what they wanted. Like they wanted that Friday, but they don't look at the date. Date was.
Bless.
So that happens a lot.
Have you ever had an instance where you messed up?
There was times, I guess. Everybody messes up.
Well,
Nobody's perfect.
I had someone send me the funniest story. It's like, it's funny, but it's also not funny. This could have ended so bad. They're so lucky they had a cool client. They had a woman barber had a client. He wanted a 4-guard on his whole head, right?
Yeah.
That makes more sense to you than it does to me. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
But she, for whatever reason, was having an off day and forgot to put on the guard. And so she started on his head, and it was just a 0.
And you
And
see
when-
this video when the
and did
guard
it-
flies,
Mhm.
comes off.
And it went, and she was thought, oh no, what did I just do? Oh, I'm in so much
It's,
trouble, and just decided to try and play it off. And he looked, and he's like, what are you doing? And she's like, oh, I thought that you would like this fade style so much more. And I just thought we'd try it because I know you're really adventurous. And he goes, actually,
Professional.
you know me so well. I
Yeah.
love this. And she's like, yeah, for sure, for sure.
Professional barbers. Even if they mess up something, they just.
Yeah,
they
I
don't
meant
tell
to
you,
do that.
They just continue.
I meant to
You-
do that. I thought you would like this better. It just
Right.
fits you. And he's like,
gotta go
yeah.
with I messed up one guy's beard one time. He didn't have too long of a beard. He still comes.
Oh,
Yeah,
good, good.
He was about to. He's cool. He still comes. But he was about to go to. He's like, I'm going to Florida on vacation, and then all of a sudden, when I was doing the line up here, for some reason, I didn't look down enough. And I dug in here, and then he didn't like it. I was like, I can fix it. I was like, no. It was like, I was like trying to fix it, bring the line. He's like, it's like just take it all off. Yeah, I thought this guy never gonna come to me again.
But he did.
He just still comes.
Oh,
He's like,
that's so good.
That's the only thing I can think of. Was like I messed up. I heard other stories. Same thing happened that they were doing like 2 or 3 on top.
Oh,
As they were doing, the guard came off.
oh, that's so scary.
That's why I use the guards, the ones with the magnet.
Uh-huh.
I just prefer those because I'm always afraid. It's like I heard so many stories. Even you see some videos sometimes.
Oh.
It's like and then he said the same thing. He was about to go on vacation. He's like, I dug in with a 0 right on top. So what do you do then? You just buzz it up.
Oh, that's so
Oh,
scary.
yeah, it's bad. That's my fear. That's my fear.
Nah, you're a pro.
Right?
Yeah. Can you
Yeah.
think of any? Oh, sorry. What were we gonna? I just
No.
interrupted you. Can you think of any last minute things that you just either want people to know about, whether it's being a barber or opening a small business or just being a decent human when it comes to being a customer?
Well, I always say to people is like to open a barber shop.
Mhm.
It's like a lot of people it's in beginning stuff to build like clientele.
Yeah.
And which now is even harder because there's no walk-ins.
Yeah.
Since COVID happened, everybody's online. Now people don't come to give you a chance. So I was like, oh, you're busy, I'll give you this guy a chance since it's new. But if you get like less people walk in, and it's tough. But it's tough in the beginning. But I always tell people it's like goes hand in hand with like a personality. You talk to people, you gotta make them comfortable. You got this 30 minutes or whatever, 45 minutes, depends. It's like they spend with you, you gotta talk to them, open up, because it goes in at like 50-50. It's like 50, it's like your skills But the other hand is like you gotta connect with people, and that helped me a lot, because I still have the same people in the beginning. They still come to me since the beginning. But yeah, it's like you gotta improve the skills and stuff. But some people they don't talk much or something. It's like you gotta create that bond because some I even if I have some clients they don't want to talk much, and that's how it is. But you gotta find out. Even they say about us, it's like barbers is like stylists. It's like we are psychiatrists,
Yeah.
but without uncertified, with no license. It's like,
Yeah.
you gotta, and they say even you shouldn't tell your problems to your clients because nobody wants to hear
Well,
people's problems too much.
I
It's
guess
like,
I
it
disagree.
depends how well
Yeah.
you know 'em.
Yeah.
But somebody comes first, and like, you know what happened? This will happen.
Well, I've had the
It's like-
same hairstylist since I was 3 years old.
Yeah, so that's different.
So yeah,
It's
like
you
she's
become
family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I want to hear everything going on with her.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
different. I have those clients, but in beginning, you're starting up. That's a tough time. Everybody is like nervous, starting to cut hair, nervous. It's like you gotta talk to people and don't hide it because some people are like trying to be like, yeah, I've been cutting it this long. They're trying to.
Mm.
Well, it's like your work shows for itself. You don't want to lie. You should be like real. Be like, hey, I just started. I just started cutting hair. I'm nervous. I'm sure and so people, good clients, and they understand it.
Yeah.
And they be like, oh, that's okay. It's cool. Just you can test. Someone's like, yeah, you can work on my hair.
It's like, ah.
And for some, like I said, but it's like you gotta be real. Like, kind of tell them how it is. Like you're just started. Be honest, and that helps a lot because then you got nothing to cover anymore.
Yeah.
It's like you're same. So I say always be consistent with your personality and your skills.
Yeah.
Same thing. Always start kind of same. Don't just surprise clients like client with number 4.
Yeah. It's like, ah.
Surprise. Yeah, no surprises. And yeah, that's all kind of.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me
Yeah,
today.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thanks for bringing me here.
Absolutely. No, I learned so many things. I
Right?
think this is great. And I think,
learn-
I like
learn
listening
new
to your
things.
story.
Learn
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Did you remember stay in school?
Right?
That's always the
My daughters.
yeah, that's the important lesson of this whole
yeah.
episode. Is
Oh,
they need
yeah.
to stay in school.
Well, yeah, there's always options. I mean, here
It is not for everybody, you know.
it's not. It's not.
That
for-
that really is such an important thing that I try to stress to everybody. That school just isn't
Well, yeah,
for
so you
everyone,
gotta
and that's
pick.
fine.
You'll enjoy doing, like you love doing it.
Exactly.
That's all that matters in the end.
If you have
It's like-
joy, that's all that matters.
Yeah, it doesn't
but,
matter what you do. There's all kinds of opportunities.
but
out
yeah,
there.
absolutely. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with us, and we'll
Thank
see y'all
you.
next week. Bye, my lovelies.
Bye.